Part 20. The Sweetness of the Seventies. Author, Chi Sing Cao. Chapter 193. Chapter 193 New Lily's Worries, Monthly Ticket 1200 plus. The day of departure has arrived. Wei Jekan bought 3 train tickets for the 18th day of the first lunar month, all of which were sleeper berths, 2 of which were bottom berths. At the same time, He Jingyu also sent a telegram to Secretary Qi, telling him the date and asking him to pick it up. After Niu Daijin got the telegram, he went to tell village chief Qi. He Jingyu and Wang Shuping bought platform tickets and personally delivered 7 large packages to the car and placed them on the shelves. He Jingyu also asked the conductor on the same train to help him get it when he got to the station. The conductor was also enthusiastic. Seeing that He Tian, a little girl, had to take care of 2 elderly people and brought so many packages, he immediately agreed that he would come to help when He Tian got off the train. Besides, the sound of the train starting up became more and more urgent, resounding throughout the train station. In the steamy atmosphere, the train car finally slowly drove out of the station. He Tian leaned out and waved her hands to say goodbye to her mother. In fact, He Tian wanted to cry, but she knew that if she shed 1 tear now, her mother would shed 10 tears, so she held back her tears and kept saying goodbye to her parents with a smile. When the train pulled out of the train station, and the shadows of his parents became smaller and smaller, until they were no longer visible, He Tian retracted his hand and closed the window. At this time, He Tian finally couldn't help it anymore, snapping and crying. Grandma Qi-san, old man Qi stayed silent and let He Tian vent for a while. It is indeed a sad thing for such a young child to leave his parents. Especially Grandma Qi-san, when she saw He Tian's tears, she thought of her son. When he went out to study, he looked back 3 times, reluctant to leave. About half an hour later, He Tian wiped her tears and felt a little embarrassed. Such a grown-up person is still crying. Grandma, Grandpa, I'm a little thirsty. Go get some hot water. Do you need it? He Tian asked, taking a towel from her bag to wipe her face, otherwise her eyes would be red and ugly. Okay, take the kettle and get some more hot water, Grandma Qi-san said, without saying a word about He Tian crying. They are all grown-up children and have high self-esteem. They cannot joke around casually, especially at this time. He Tian took a towel and a military kettle, went to the hot water area, filled the hot water, put some cold water on the towel, applied it to her eyes, took out the moisturizing cream and applied it on her face, and then came back after tidying up. He Tian drank water and poured water for Grandma Qi and Grandpa Qi before climbing into the berth above to sleep. Grandma Qi-san and Old Man Qi also closed their eyes to rest. I don't know how long I slept for, but He Tian was woken up by the sound of people selling soup and rice. If she were alone, He Tian could wait until the afternoon to eat if she wasn't hungry, but the 2 old people couldn't. He Tian came down, made 3 portions of soup, and ate the bacon cakes prepared by her mother, Wang Shuping, for lunch. The journey went smoothly without any delays. When we arrived in Daowen County, the conductor actually came over to help move things, which saved He Tian a lot of effort, otherwise He Tian would have had to make 2 trips back and forth. Outside the train, Secretary Qi and Qi Ergu saw He Tian from a distance and hurried over. Thank you, comrade. Someone at home has come to pick us up. After He Tian saw village chief Qi and Qi Ergu, he waved from a high place and thanked the conductor at the same time. Seeing this, the conductor said, "Okay, someone will pick you up." After that, he returned to the train. "Second uncle, third aunt, you look good. It seems that sweet girl has taken good care of you," village chief Qi chuckled, and while talking, Qi Ergu tied packages on their bodies. Secretary Qi Ergu, each had 3 packages, and He Tian took one. "Yes, We have a good life in Nanji. If I didn't miss my relatives in Kijia village, I wouldn't want to come back. Old man Chi chuckled. Grandma Chi-san curled her lips and said, it's all nonsense, but I don't know who keeps saying that I'm homesick. I'm homesick. It's better to go home, Secretary Chi said with a smile. Seeing He Tian Tian beside him, he added, Tian Tian girl, don't worry too much. I don't mean to say anything bad about your family. Haha, He Tian Tian smiled and didn't care. You're right, it's better to go home. It's so cold, let's leave quickly, Chi Ergu urged, eat something and leave immediately to try to get home early. Okay, village chief Chi walked in front, and a group of 5 people went outside and put their things on the bullock cart. Village chief Chi was familiar with the road and took these people to the place where Niu Lily worked. This time, He Tian Tian brought 2 salted ducks to Niu Lily, and one of them was given to Niu Daijin. Niu Lily was not polite and accepted it. She also gave He Tian Tian 2 nice-looking rubber bands to tie her hair, and whispered, bring this one to Xiao Yan. Okay, He Tian Tian took it and put it in his pocket. When he went to see Niu Lily, he found that Niu Lily's face was blushing and not as cheerful as usual. Sister Lily, are you okay? Niu Lily saw that He Tian Tian could tell that she was worried, so she hesitated for a while, then summoned up the courage to say, does Chi Xiao Yan have a brother named Chi Rong Jun? Yes, He Tian Tian was stunned. There was no beginning or end. How could Sister Lily ask Chi Rong Jun? Does Chi Rong Jun have a partner? Niu Lily asked, her face turning even redder. Although Niu Lily is a generous girl, she feels embarrassed to inquire about a man's affairs in person. He Tian Tian was stunned again, and immediately understood, is this Niu Lily interested in Chi Rong Jun? I went back to Nanchi during the Chinese New Year. I don't know if Chi Rong Jun has a partner. But a year ago, when I was chatting with Xiao Yan, I heard that Aunt Liang was saving money to find a partner for Chi Rong Jun. She probably doesn't have a partner yet, He Tian Tian replied, looking carefully at Niu Lily's expression like a little bitch. Sure enough, Niu Lily was greatly relieved when she heard that Chi Rong Jun had no partner. But He Tian Tian added, Aunt Liang said that she has secretly inquired about several girls, and is waiting for brother Xiao Yan to come back to meet us formally. After hearing this, Niu Lily's rosy face changed color. She took He Tianatian's hand and asked hurriedly, which girl did you meet? How does she look? Did brother Xiao Yan agree? Oops, it hurts me, He Tian Tian cried out in pain. Sister Lily, why do you ask this? This time Niu Lily realized that her gaffe had gone to the extreme. She stopped being coy and said, on the night of the 10th day of the first lunar month, when I was returning home from work, I encountered some bad guys on the road. It was a kind person who saved me and took those bad guys away. He sent me to the police station and sent me home. Later I found out that his name was Chi Rong Jun, and he was Chi Xiao Yan's second brother. He was good-looking and brave enough to do justice. I fell in love with him. This time Niu Lily has returned to her previous cheerfulness. If she likes it, she likes it. Now why do you ask Tian Tian for something? If you don't be direct, you won't be able to strive for your own happiness in the future. The last chapter of this month, please vote, hold on to the top 5. Hello, Pretender by Xian Ziazuo is very good. If you like modern romance, you can check it out. I have a dream, to have a husband from all over the world. She made a great wish, but she didn't expect that it would be terrible for her wish to come true. The prince and CEO came to knock her down, the young master of the Black Owl came to feed her, and the world's genius came to serve her, with different identities and titles. He ate her up and wiped her clean, removing her bones and leaving no residue behind. There is also a cute son who provides a great assist. Finally, her waist and legs were sore and she broke out, Jun Wang, what do you want to do with these different disguises? He smiled elegantly and evilly, you. I will do my best to fulfill your dream. Let your husband work hard and take care of you all over the world. She was about to cry but had no tears. Can you change your wish? The Sweetness of the Seventies. Author, Chi Sing Cao. Chapter 194. Sure enough. He Tian understood that she had wanted to be a matchmaker before, but she just didn't have time, so she forgot about it. Now that the two of them have met, it proves that they are destined, and Niu Lily also likes Chi Rongjun, so it will be much easier to handle. Oh, I'm just an outsider, how can I help you? He Tian asked. If you like Chi Rongjun, you can write him a letter. The horoscope hasn't been revealed yet, so I can't tell my family, Niu Lily said. I'll understand the situation first. He Tian rolled her eyes and said, Brother Daijin is good friends with Brother Xiao Yan. Brother Daijin may know more things. You can also ask Brother Daijin to help you find out. Niu Lily said with a bitter face, if my cousin knows about it, our whole family will know about it. I haven't figured it out yet, so I will let my family know. If Chi Rongjun has a sweetheart, there will be trouble. What a joke. He Tian smiled and said, okay, I'll go back and inquire for you. Then I'll write you a letter and ask Brother Daijin to bring it back. Okay, since I don't have many friends in Kijia village, you have to ask me about it, Niu Lily said. Whether it works or not, I will remember your favor. Niu Lily's message last time allowed He Tian to avoid a disaster. This was a huge favor that he had never had the chance to repay before. Now that Niu Lily wanted something from her, He Tian tried her best to return Niu Lily's favor. As for Chi Rongjun and Niu Lily, it depends on their fate. The two whispered for a while, had dinner, and then followed Secretary Chi back to Kijia village. There are thick leather jackets on top of the ox cart, and each person puts them on one by one to keep them very warm. Even though there was no snow on the road, it was muddy and the road was not easy to walk. Chi Erga drove the ox cart back to Kijia village. It was already 8 o'clock in the evening and it was already dark. Chi Erga first sent Chi San's grandma and He Tian home, and then sent old Chi to the animal husbandry team. Liang Hongyu and Chi Xiao Yan were already waiting in the room. They boiled hot brown sugar and ginger water. When they saw Grandma Chi San, He Tian came in and let them drink it. Sister Tian, you are back, I miss you so much, Chi Xiao Yan said excitedly. I am bored when you are not here. Liang Hongyu pulled her daughter away and said angrily, you little girl, we'll talk to you later, why don't you go cook? When Grandma Chi San left, she gave Liang Hongyu the key to her house and asked her to help take a look and clean it. Grandma Chi San came back today, and Secretary Chi asked her family to move all the food that was given to Grandma Chi San and He Tian. Chi Xiao Yan also helped buy oil, salt, sauce, and vinegar. As for firewood, there was a lot at home. Chi Xiao Yan had already rolled out the noodles, cut some cabbage, beat 2 eggs, and lit the fire to cook the noodles. He Tian here, after Grandma Chi San was out of cold air, Chi Xiao Yan had already brought in 2 large bowls of noodles. After eating around 1 o'clock at noon, I was really hungry now. He Tian and Grandma Chi San started eating noodles without saying much. While the noodles were cooking, there was already hot water in the water tank next to the stove. After He Tian finished eating, they were asked to wash up and rest. Chi Xiao Yan wanted to talk to He Tian, but was pulled away by Liang Hongyu. After He Tian helped Grandma Chi San wash up, she went to wash up and rest. Taking care of 2 people along the way was indeed not an easy task. He Tian was a little tired, so she got into bed and fell asleep. The next morning, when He Tian got up, Grandma Chi San was already cooking in the pot house. Just after dinner here, Chi Xiao Yan came over. Sister Tian, did you bring me a gift? Chi Xiao Yan said with a smile and stretched out her white hand. He Tian took out a beautiful headband and said, this is for you. It's a hair tie again, Chi Xiao Yan muttered, although it looks better than last time, it has already been taken away once. There will be no surprises this time. As if by magic, he Tian conjured up a furry hat and said, "That's what Sister Lily gave us, one for you and one for me. This is the hat I gave you. How do you like it? Does it look good?" Chi Xiao Yan grabbed it and put it on her head directly and said, "It looks good, it really looks good. The hats worn by people in the county are not as good looking as this one." After the novelty of the hat wore off, Chi Xiao Yan took the headband and said, "I haven't seen Sister Lily for a long time, and I really miss her." It seems that Chi Xiao Yan has a good impression of Niu Lily, which is good. While packing her luggage, he Tian asked, "Xiao Yan, is your second brother back for the new year?" "Come back, but he only has 2 weeks of vacation, and now he is back," Chi Xiao Yan said. "My second brother's next vacation will probably be wedding leave." He Tian perked up after hearing these two sensitive words, marriage leave, and asked again, "Has your second brother agreed on a partner?" Chi Xiao Yan smiled and said, "We agreed, my parents and I went to see her, she is a very neat girl, and my second brother also agreed. This time, we will get engaged first, and we will probably wait half a year before the wedding can take place." He Tian listened, and Niu Lily's efforts were in vain. "What's that girl's name?" He Tian asked. "Is she the Guo Qiqui from her previous life?" "My name is Guo Qiqui, she is the daughter of the village party secretary of Qiajia village," Chi Xiao Yan replied, very satisfied with her future sister-in-law. "Hey, it's still the same Guo Qiqui from her previous life." After Guo Qiqui got married, she did not follow him to join the army and stayed at home, which made things difficult for Chi Xiao Yan. If it weren't for the unpleasant words Guo Qiqui said, maybe Chi Xiao Yan wouldn't commit suicide by jumping into the river, killing 2 people. Chi Xiao Yan's life may be different now from her previous life, but he Tian doesn't want Chi Xiao Yan to have such a sister-in-law. In addition, Niu Lily likes Chi Rongjun, so he Tian wants to do something. Although what happened in the previous life may not happen in this life, in he Tianation's heart, those hurts still exist. Others don't know and can take it lightly, but he Tian can't numbly muddle along and let the selfish people who hurt her and her friends in her previous life live so freely. She's going to mind her own business this time. "So what fun things are going on in the village this spring festival?" he Tian asked. She only needs to know about those situations. She will plan her plans slowly in the future and can't tell Chi Xiao Yan too much. At the same time, Chi Rongjun was engaged, so he Tian could no longer say that Niu Lily also had a crush on Chi Rongjun, so as not to damage Niu Lily's reputation. Chi Xiao Yan smiled and said, "This year everyone has received a lot of meat and money, and there is still food at home. The harvest is better than previous years, and everyone is living a good life. Although there is no big show to watch, but eating well is enough, it's a blessing." "That's good," he Tian said. She had foreseen this situation and was not surprised. "I specifically inform kitty and girls, Yunkai and readers of QQ reading in the text that the administrator cleaned up all the groups last night. Those who did not pass the verification and whose fan base did not meet the standard for all groups were asked to leave. This has been stipulated from the beginning. Please forgive me if it causes trouble to everyone." Finally, on Wednesday, November 2nd, at 9:30 in the morning, Kikai will send out red envelopes to give back to Quanding readers. If you are a Quanding reader, join our Quanding group quickly. Quanding VIP Book Club Group, 3-3-3-6-1-2-5-7-4. The group has distributed benefits on October 25th in the group documents. There is also a big red envelope to receive on the 2nd. Steps to join the group: 1. Leave a message in the book review area verification building to facilitate the administrator to verify the fan value. 2. Modify the nickname to be consistent with the starting point ID. 3. Upload the full screenshot. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Sweetness of the Seventies. Author, Chi Sing Cao. Chapter 195. Chi Xiao Yan saw that Grandma Chi San had gone out for a walk, and only she and he Tian Tian were at home, so she whispered, "Sister Tian Tian, you went home for the spring festival, but Lin Xiru, Huang Jingli and Li Mingkai didn't go back." "Why didn't they go home?" he Tian Tian asked curiously. Something must have happened that she didn't know about. "I don't know why they didn't go home," Chi Xiao Yan said, "but I know they are not in the village, but are performing with Li Mingkai and the commune's propaganda team. Li Mingkai can play the piano, Lin Xiru can dance, and as for Huang Jingli, I heard that she is doing odd jobs for them." He Tian Tian was shocked and asked, "How can it be like this? Lin Xiru is a person who doesn't get up early without profit. She won't do things that are thankless. She must have a purpose for following them." "Yes, I think so too," Chi Xiao Yan said. "Now the propaganda team has been disbanded, but Lin Xiru still often leaves the village. As for where she goes, I don't know. Last time Lin Xiru reported her, but failed." He Tian Tian slapped Lin Xiru twice, and the two had become enemies. Chi Xiao Yan, as a good friend of He Tian Tian, naturally paid more attention to Lin Xiru. He Tian Tian remembered that although she couldn't follow Lin Xiru anytime and anywhere, she had the Snake King. "That's a free radar. I know about Lin Xiru's situation, but what about Qi Jiangguo and Qi Fangfang?" He Tian Tian asked curiously. Compared with Lin Xiru, she wanted to know more about the Qi family. She thought of so many ways, hoping that they would be useful. Chi Xiao Yan replied, "Qi Fangfang is still the same. When she saw Li Mingkai went to the propaganda team, she followed him. But the propaganda team wanted Lin Xiru and Huang Jingli, but not Qi Fangfang. You know, she can't sing or dance, and she doesn't want to work. She went there for 2 days and was persuaded to come back." Chi Xiao Yan laughed while talking. She was squeezed by Qi Fangfang many times before, and now she has the opportunity to laugh at Qi Fangfang, so of course she has to laugh enough. He Tian Tian knows Qi Fangfang very well. She can imagine what kind of actions Qi Fangfang will take. However, He Tian Tian dare not take Qi Jiangguo lightly. He Tian Tian is weak, but not a fool. She has been deceived by Qi Jiangguo for a lifetime, which also shows that Qi Jiangguo is very capable. At that time, Qi Jiangguo had already controlled every aspect of her life, quietly, making her willingly work like a slave. Qi Jiangguo, he came back at the end of the year, he was so proud. "I don't know what good things he did," Chi Xiao Yan said. "Not many people in the village know that Qi Jiangguo has bad intentions." Qi Jiangguo and Qi Shulai were cautious in the village at the beginning, but they didn't take it seriously afterwards. Qi Shulai is eyeing the position of Secretary Qi. "Secretary Qi must pay attention," He Tian Tian said. "Qi Shulai is cunning, Qi Jiangguo is despicable, their family is not a good person." Chi Xiao Yan nodded seriously and said, "My parents know, and they are very careful now. But you must be careful when you go out to do things in the future. By the way, Sister Tian Tian, I suggest that you don't go to the animal husbandry team to work in the future, so that you don't go up the mountain alone. If you encounter an accident, the back mountain is so big, you really can't help but cry to the sky and the earth. In the cave in the back mountain, there is a pool that helps the Snake King practice. He Tian Tian can't give up, so she must keep this job. It's okay. There are so many people in the animal husbandry team now. I won't go up the mountain alone in the future. I will go with others," He Tian Tian explained. "You also know that I am good at hunting. Going to the back mountain, I can not only hunt prey, but also find fruits and wild vegetables. It's much better than doing those lazy jobs in the village." "You are right," Chi Xiao Yan agreed. "In that case, you must be more careful." "I know," He Tian Tian said. I'm going to the animal husbandry team, are you going? Okay, I'll play with you, Chi Xiao Yan said, and followed He Tian Tian to the animal husbandry team. The reason why He Tian Tian specifically asked Chi Xiao Yan about various things in Kijia village was to know ourselves and the enemy, so that we can win every battle. Because He Tian Tian brought clothes to Professor Gu, Professor Wang, and Sun Sihao, they had already changed into cotton-padded clothes and the clothes inside early this morning. Qian Chicken didn't have any, so Professor Gu gave him a set of old clothes to wear inside, which was convenient for changing and washing later. The old man also had several sets of clothes inside, one for Zoli and one for Xiangrong. Zolik Xiangrong made money a few years ago, and village chief Toki bought some cloth and cotton in the county town and made clothes, so he had no shortage of clothes to wear. He Tian Tian arrived and was welcomed by everyone. Tian Tian, how is my family? Professor Gu asked, have you seen my little grandson? He Tian Tian replied, I didn't see your little grandson. I went there during the day, and there was no one at home. I wrote a note. She briefly explained it. The two old people were relieved when they heard He Tian Tian say that their son, daughter-in-law, and grandchildren were all fine. Sun Sihao waited for He Tian Tian to finish speaking before asking, how is Xiaowai? He Tian Tian didn't want to say how Mo Xiaowai was doing now. She was also a poor woman. As long as she was still thinking about Sun Sihao, everything would be discussed after Sun Sihao returned, and the two parties would handle it themselves. He Tian Tian said, it's okay. No one embarrassed her, Sun Sihao asked cautiously, obviously worried about his wife. He Tian Tian thought for a moment and said, the atmosphere in Nanchi is pretty good now, so it shouldn't be like that. You know, I'm not familiar with your wife, and she wouldn't tell me these things. Sun Sihao was a little disappointed, but since his wife could send him clothes, she must still have him in mind. What He Tian Tian said was right. His wife didn't know He Tian Tian, so naturally she wouldn't say much. Hey, forget it, I hope the reform through labor can end soon and he can go home early. No matter what, I thank you, Sun Sihao said, thank you for bringing my things. It doesn't matter, we are in the same place after all. I can't help with big things, but if I can help with small things, I will try my best. He Tian Tian smiled, and then went in to talk to Professor Wang. Professor Wang received the clothes in the package and had already changed into clean clothes. Now he is teaching Chi Xiao Yan music theory. At this time, Professor Wang became an elegant old lady again. When it was time for lunch, Chi Xiao Yan and He Tian Tian returned to the village. As soon as he reached the entrance of the village, He Tian Tian met Chi Jiangguo, who was blushing after drinking wine. He turned crookedly from the intersection to the village on his bicycle. When He Tian Tian saw this, she kept cursing in her heart that Chi Jiangguo broke his leg while riding his bicycle. Chi Jiangguo was also considered lucky. Although he was crooked, he didn't fall down. However, when Chi Jiangguo saw He Tian Tian, he actually got out of the car and said with a smile, Tian Tian, you are back. The Sweetness of the 70s. Author, Chi Xing Cao. Chapter 196. Chapter 196 Carrying Water, Monthly Ticket 1220 plus. After saying that, he actually pushed the bicycle towards He Tian Tian. He Tian Tian quickly took a few steps back, pulled Chi Xiao Yan and ran away, ignoring Chi Jiangguo. He Tian Tian didn't want to talk to Chi Jiangguo, nor did he want to have anything to do with Chi Jiangguo. If it was dark at this time, if there was no one else but Chi Jiangguo, she would definitely step forward and beat Chi Jiangguo until his head was bloody and let him know why the flowers were so red. But it was broad daylight now, and Chi Xiao Yan was beside him. He Tian Tian couldn't let her actions be exposed to others, so she could only find other opportunities. He Tian Tian has given Chi Jiangguo many opportunities. Since Chi Jiangguo doesn't know how to cherish them, He Tian Tian has no need to pity this cunning and disgusting pervert. Chi Jiangguo is really too much, stay away from him from now on, Chi Xiaoyan panted, in front of me, in broad daylight, he just wants to act like a hooligan. He Tian said disdainfully, that's a beast in disguise. He smiles on the surface, but he's disgusting on the inside. If you see such a person, you'll want to run away. My parents also said that Chi Jiangguo is not a good person. He was responsible for several things that happened in the village last year, and Chi Shulai was an accomplice. Their group has always been dissatisfied with ours, but they have never been able to turn over. Now that they dare to do this, there must be someone behind them, Chi Xiaoyan said. Not only He Tian must be wary of Chi Jiangguo, but their family must also be wary. He Tian nodded and agreed with Chi Xiaoyan's words. Chi Xiaoyan arrived home first, and He Tian went home along the alley. Grandma Chi San was cooking, and He Tian went up to help. Seeing that there was no water in the water tank, she went to fetch water. Not far after leaving the house, I didn't meet Chi Jiangguo this time, but I actually met Chi Fangfang. Chi Fangfang's eyes lit up when she saw He Tian. She jumped over and asked, Sister Tian, when did you come back? You didn't say anything to me, so I could come and play with you. Sister Tian, did you bring me a gift when you came back? Here we go again. He Tian felt bored, so she started asking people for gifts without even looking to see if they were happy or not. I came in a hurry and didn't have time, He Tian said. I'm not joking with you, I'm going to fetch water. When Chi Fangfang saw what He Tian said, she looked unhappy and said, Sister Tian, you are too stingy. In a place as big as your Nan city, you don't have a good place. Also, there are so many Yahua stones in your Nan city. Bring me a bunch this time. He Tian wanted to curse in her heart, so she looked up at Chi Fangfang and said, that thing is really expensive. I don't have the money to buy those things. Chi Fangfang became even more unhappy and aggrieved, saying, Sister Tian, how come your family has no money? You have brought Grandma Chi San and Grandpa Chi Er home to celebrate the New Year. The round-trip fare is so expensive. I heard I told you, you're still sitting on a sleeper berth, you don't have the money to afford a sleeper berth. He Tian kept moving, and Chi Fangfang kept following behind. That's all Grandma Chi, Grandpa Chi's own money, not my money, He Tian said, don't talk nonsense. Okay, I'm going to fetch water, I won't gossip with you anymore. Chi Fangfang continued to follow He Tian as if she didn't notice that He Tian was angry. He Tian was puzzled. She had made it obvious, why did Chi Fangfang still follow her? Although Chi Fangfang is thick-skinned, she can't be so thick-skinned, right? When he arrived at the spring pool at the entrance of the village, He Tian rinsed the bucket, bent down to fill it with water, put it on the road, and then went to get another bucket of water. Chi Fangfang did not come down this time, but stood on the roadside. While He Tian went to fetch another bucket of water, he took out a small paper bag from his clothes and poured the white powder inside into the bucket. He Tian carried Chi Fangfang on her back, and the sound of fetching water was a bit loud and could not be heard at all. But He Tian is not alone, there is also a snake. The Snake King rarely finished his training and was lazily watching He Tian work when he saw a dark fat girl pouring medicinal powder into He Tian's bucket outside. Being sneaky and sneaky must not be a good thing. That black girl poured medicinal powder into your bucket. Be careful and don't get it mixed up, the Snake King reminded that if he hadn't woken up today, this woman would have drank the water in a daze. He Tian paused, startled, and asked hurriedly, that Chi Fangfang wants to poison me. The Snake King smiled and said, coward, it's not poison, it's a powder that can make people fall asleep. Damn it, isn't that just a sleeping pill? This time He Tian understood why Chi Fangfang was so shameless that she wanted to follow her. Maybe it was because she was harboring bad intentions in her heart. Sister Tian, What's wrong with you? Can't you carry it? Chi Fang Fang saw that He Tian Tian was bent over and motionless, so she quickly forced herself to calm down and asked. He Tian Tian heard Chi Fang Fang's voice and reminded herself not to panic and let Chi Fang Fang see the flaw. It's okay. There are leaves in the bucket. I'll draw it again. He Tian Tian poured out the water in the bucket and filled it again. Chi Fang Fang felt even more nervous. After hearing He Tianatian's words, she felt less nervous. From a distance of 3 meters, she could not be seen drugging the water. Bearing the humiliation today, listening to He Tianatian's cynicism, Chi Fang Fang had already become angry. As long as He Tian Tian drinks the drugged water and accomplishes good things with her brother, then He Tian Tian will no longer be a turtle in the urn, and he can do whatever he wants. Besides, she can take He Tianatian's beautiful clothes and goodies whenever she wants. Thinking of this, Chi Fang Fang's heart became even hotter. He Tian Tian fetched another bucket of water and brought it up. He Tian Tian picked up 2 buckets, one in front of the other, and headed home. Sister Tian Tian, let me help you carry water. Chi Fang Fang smiled and stepped forward to help. He Tian Tian refused. No, I can pick it up. The medicine has been taken, Chi Fang Fang still won't leave. When Chi Fang Fang saw this, she didn't fight with He Tian Tian to carry water, so as not to arouse He Tianatian's suspicion. Seeing Chi Fang Fang's nervous face, He Tian Tian pretended to stumble, and the 2 buckets also shook, spilling some of the water in the buckets. Chi Fang Fang was shocked and quickly stepped forward to grab the rope of the bucket in front and said, Sister Tian Tian, why are you so careless? Get up and I will help you carry water. No, I was careless just now and didn't pay attention to my steps. He Tian Tian avoided Chi Fang Fang. No need to trouble you, just let it go. Chi Fang Fang didn't dare to let He Tian Tian continue to carry water. All the medicinal powder was used up, and if the water was spilled, it would be wasted. Sister Tian Tian, you must have not recovered from last time and have no strength now. Get up and I will help you carry water. Chi Fang Fang said righteously and grabbed He Tianatian's bucket without any explanation. The Sweetness of the 70s. Author, Chi Xing Cao. Chapter 197. Seeing this, He Tian Tian had no choice but to give the pole to Chi Fang Fang. These are 2 big buckets. Although some water has been spilled out just now, there is still a lot inside. Plus the weight of the buckets, they are very heavy. Chi Fang Fang, who had never done heavy work before, struggled to pick it up unsteadily. Hum, I'll let you choose. You're exhausted. He Tian Tian cursed evilly from behind. After taking a few steps, Chi Fang Fang regretted it. It was too heavy. She had never picked up anything so heavy. But the words have been spoken, and I can't take them back now. I can only grit my teeth and use all my strength. Only then did Chi Fang Fang look squarely at He Tian Tian. Apart from her face, she also had other redeeming qualities. No wonder my brother, when trying to persuade his mother, said that He Tian Tian was strong and could work. Sure enough, when she saw He Tian Tian picking up 2 buckets of water very easily, she thought it was very light, but she didn't expect it to be so heavy. These 2 buckets are heavier than the buckets at home. Chi Fang Fang comforted herself in her heart while carrying water. From now on, He Tian Tian will become a member of their family, and let He Tian Tian work hard to compensate her. After finally arriving at Grandma Chi San's house, Chi Fang Fang poured the bucket of water with the medicinal powder into the large water tank. Then she felt relieved and poured another bucket of water in. Oh, I'm so tired, Chi Fang Fang complained. Sister Tian Tian, look how nice I am to you, you must be nicer to me in the future. He Tian Tian sneered in her heart. Chi Fang Fang and Chi Jiangguo were such a good brother and sister. It was probably Chi Jiangguo's idea to put medicine in the barrel. I guess I can no longer get close to her using normal methods, so I guess I just want to force myself to do it. It's just that He Tian Tian lives in Grandma Chi San's house, and there are people in the neighborhood. Once Chi Jiangguo uses force, He Tian can only shout loudly, and nothing will happen. Instead, he will get into trouble. So Chi Jiangguo came up with this idea. There are so many relatives in Qi Jian's country who are doctors, both Chinese and Western medicine. It's not easy to get some medicine. Even if that medicinal powder was not a sleeping pill, it was probably some other filthy medicinal powder. Haha, thank you very much. He Tian smiled and said, you are too polite. I can pick it up, but you insist on grabbing it. You are so diligent, I thought you were hiding something from me. It's like you've done something wrong and want to get my forgiveness. Qi Fangfang was startled, quickly shook her head and retorted, angrily saying, Sister Tian, how can you say that to me? I'm so good to you. It's too hurtful for you to say this. Listening to what you said, someone must be hear you say bad things about me behind my back. You don't know what kind of person I am, and you can't listen to other people's words. Really good at acting. Qi Fangfang should become an actor. Haha, no one said anything bad about you, I was joking with you. He Tian smiled, okay, I'll keep your kindness in mind. You go back to eat quickly. I have to go to the animal husbandry team in the afternoon. Well, there's no time for small talk. Qi Fangfang saw that He Tian had said soft words and was not interested, so she smiled and said, that's okay, just remember my kindness. I'm hungry too. I'm going home to eat. When you get off work, I'll be looking for you. Play. The task was completed. Her shoulder hurt and she wanted to go home to see if the skin was damaged. Okay, I won't give it to you. He Tian said, cooperating with Qi Fangfang's acting. After Qi Fangfang left, Grandma Qi San asked curiously, Fangfang is a little strange today. He Tian sighed, Grandma Qi San was very observant. Grandma, it's because Qi Fangfang did something wrong. He Tian said, and decided to tell Grandma Qi San, and the two of them discussed a good countermeasure. Grandma Qi San put down the bowls and chopsticks in her hands and asked, then what bad thing did Qi Fangfang do? If she bullies you, just tell me and I will seek justice for you. He Tian is her granddaughter now, and she cannot let He Tian Kijiakan be bullied. He Tian told Qi Fangfang that she had put medicinal powder in the bucket. Grandma Qi San did not speak, but squinted her eyes and thought carefully. After a while, Grandma Qi San said slowly, sweet girl, we have to make a good plan this time. Grandma, Qi Fangfang had already calculated that the water we would drink in the evening was for us when we prepared lunch and prepared the medicine. Even if it is not poison, it is a drug. Qi Fangfang is a woman, and even if she is drugged, she cannot do anything to me. But that's not necessarily the case with Qi Jiangguo, the deceitful gangster. He Tian said, I was discovered this time. If I hadn't discovered it, I would have suffered again this time. After hearing this, Grandma Qi San nodded and said, it's not the poison, it's probably the drug. You and I were both stunned, so we can only let people do whatever they want. He Tian was always scared when she got here. If Qi Jiangguo forces herself, the Snake King can protect her, but if she fails to control her well and breaks a taboo, the Snake King will be harmed. Then what should we do? He Tian asked, looking to see what their grandma could come up with. Grandma Qi San frowned and said, hiding is not a long-term solution after all, and we still can't hide. How about this, you call Xiao Yan over at night. If there is a witness, the next thing will be easier to handle. He Tian was stunned and asked, will this hurt Xiao Yan? No. Grandma Qi San waved her hand, if we didn't know about the drug and let Xiao Yan live here, it would hurt Xiao Yan. But now that we are prepared, it won't happen. As long as Qi Jiangguo comes over, when I enter your house, I will shout, catch the gangsters. No matter how powerful Qi Jiangguo is, he can't do it. As for Xiao Yan, Dazu can't do it? Chi Jiangguo will be spared and Chi Jiangguo will be punished ruthlessly. He Tian hesitated and said, this is my business, why not bring Xiao Yan in? Grandma Chi San looked at the kind-hearted He Tian and slowly explained, Tian girl, this is not a city, this is a countryside, and the clan concept is very deep. If you are the only one in the house, even if Chi Jiangguo is caught, because Chi Jiangguo's surname is Chi, even if he is a bad guy, he will not be punished. Even though Secretary Chi had conflicts with Chi Jiangguo before, he was forced by the clan in the village and this incident. I won't report the incident to you, but I'll at most give you some compensation. In this case, can you swallow this? Can you swallow this? In one word, it reaches He Tianation's heart and lungs. She couldn't swallow this breath. Why is she such a good person enduring Chi Jiangguo's harassment again and again? Last report. Breaking into the room last time. This time the drug is administered. He Tian has had enough. I don't want to endure it anymore. Please subscribe, ask for rewards, I don't dare ask for monthly tickets, the debt from last month has not been paid off yet. At 9:30 today, red envelopes will be given out to all members of the group. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Sweetness of the 70s. Author, Chi Sing Cao. Chapter 198. This time she didn't want to endure it, not anymore. As for causing Chi Xiao Yan to be harmed, He Tian will explain the reason to Chi Xiao Yan in the future, apologize to Chi Xiao Yan, and compensate her properly. I can't swallow this breath, He Tian said sternly. Chi Jiangguo has framed me again and again, and I want to pay him back in full. Yes, if you don't teach such a person a profound lesson, he won't know how to be afraid, Grandma Chi San said with squinted eyes. Chi Xiao Yan is Chi Dazu's daughter, and Chi Dazu will not forgive his daughter. If Chi Jiangguo is killed, the people in the clan will not be able to stop him because Chi Xiao Yan is also a victim, but they cannot let Chi Dazu down. He Tian suddenly understood, nodded, and said, okay, let's do this. When the time comes, I will be in front to prevent Chi Xiao Yan from being hurt. Grandma Chi San's eyes were burning, and her beautiful eyes were wrinkled at the corners, and she said, I won't let you get hurt either. Grandma Chi San was still able to live a decent life in Kijia village when her son was missing and her husband died young. This was not something that a weak and harmless old lady could do. There must be some unknown secrets here. However, Grandma Chi San has a bottom line in doing things. She is not the kind of person who uses any means to achieve her goals. Her starting point is just to protect herself and make her life better. At the same time, she also knew that doing so would not really hurt Chi Xiao Yan, so she thought of this method. He Tian had a good meal, put away the dishes, and asked Chi Xiao Yan to go to the animal husbandry team with her. He Tian works while Chi Xiao Yan studies music theory with Professor Wang. When the sun went down, He Tian and Chi Xiao Yan left together. Xiao Yan, I have a lot to say to you. You can come to sleep at my house tonight, He Tian said. They slept together several times when it was cold last winter. Inviting Chi Xiao Yan now is not unexpected. He Tian had just come back from home and had a lot to say to Chi Xiao Yan. This reason was reasonable. Okay, I'll come find you after I've eaten and washed up. Chi Xiao Yan also wanted to chat with He Tian. She had to be busy studying during the day, and if they slept together at night, they could chat for a longer time. Okay, let's make chrysanthemum tea in the evening. I also brought some snacks. There are still pine nuts at home. We will eat and chat at the same time. He Tian smiled and relaxed a little after being tense throughout the afternoon. Hearing what you say, I can't wait any longer, Chi Xiao Yan said with a smile. Hurry up and finish eating so I can go find you. Two girls, quicken their pace. You chase me, laughing and joking, each going home. Qi Jiangguo and Qi Fangfang have been paying attention to He Tiantian and Qi Xiaoyan. Qi Jiangguo was worried and asked Qi Fangfang to come over and see if He Tiantian had cooked with water mixed with medicinal powder. Sister Tiantian, are you cooking? Qi Fangfang asked with a smile while eating melon seeds and looking around. He Tiantian smiled and said, yes, how about I cook more and you stay for dinner? If it were before, He Tiantian would never have said that. I say this now purely to disgust Qi Fangfang. Sure enough, when Qi Fangfang heard He Tianatian's words, her expression was slightly unnatural and she said, no, my family is almost ready to cook. I'll go home for dinner right away. After saying that, Qi Fangfang was about to leave. Hey, don't leave, stay and eat together, He Tiantian tried to persuade her to stay, but she was actually snickering. You are smart and think others are stupid, but in fact you are the stupid ones. No, no need. Qi Fangfang left quickly, wondering in her heart. He Tiantian had never been so kind to ask her to stay for a meal before. Why was he so enthusiastic today? Qi Fangfang carefully recalled that at noon, He Tiantian did not notice that she had drugged her, so He Tiantian should not have any suspicion. When Qi Fangfang returned home, Qi Jiangguo asked with a wink. Qi Fangfang nodded and said nothing. Qi Jiangguo agreed and was secretly happy. Tonight, he can get his wish. After what happened last year was revealed, Qi Jiangguo had planned to wait until he went to college before pursuing He Tiantian. But Qi Jiangguo often dreamed about He Tiantian at night, and when he was training in the county, most of the men had already married, and they would talk about the wonderful things about women every night when they had nothing to do. It was in this atmosphere that Qi Jiangguo longed for He Tiantian even more. More importantly, Qi Jiangguo only reacts like a man when he thinks of He Tiantian, which gives Qi Jiangguo, who has low self-esteem, more to look forward to. So, he finally couldn't help it anymore and thought about making rice from raw rice. He took some powder from his cousin, something that could make people unconscious. It does some harm to the body, but not much, and it will be relieved after a while. Qi Jiangguo had a good meal and returned to his room, walking back and forth, feeling quite excited and a little uneasy. This is the first time Qi Jiangguo has done such a thing. Although complete preparations have been made, we cannot take it lightly until we get He Tiantian. Qi Jiangguo didn't come out of the house until his parents went to bed. Qi Fangfang didn't sleep either. She heard her brother closing the door and followed him out. Why don't you sleep? Qi Jiangguo asked. He would not let his sister follow him when he was going to do something like that. Qi Fangfang didn't care, as long as her brother liked it. She whispered, brother, I'll keep a lookout for you. Qi Jiangguo was startled. For safety reasons, it would be good to have someone look out for him. Okay, you can follow, Qi Jiangguo said. When it's done, I'll get you a job recruitment quota in the city. Qi Fangfang was delighted and said, thank you so much, brother. It's getting late now, let's go. As for He Tiantian, Grandma Qi San had already gone to bed, but she only took off her outer cotton-padded clothes and her socks. Just hear the noise, quickly put on your clothes, and you're ready to go out. He Tiantian and Qi Xiaoyan talked about the situation in Nanxi, focusing on Huo Yingzhe. Hearing that He Tiantian and Huo Yingzhe were getting closer, Qi Xiaoyan was very envious and said, Sister Tiantian, it's great to have a proactive childhood sweetheart, unlike that idiot. Although he often comes to my house, hey, don't say it, it's annoying to say it. Upon hearing this, He Tiantian guessed that the layer of window paper between Qi Xiaoyan and Niu Dajin had not been broken yet. On the other hand, she and Huo Yingzhe had kissed, touched, and bitten, and they were just on the last step. If it wasn't for the Snake King, He Tiantian would probably have done it. Your second brother is here, and Niu Daijin comes often. You didn't say it, and Niu Daijin hasn't said it yet. He Tian pretended to be surprised, but it's not good for you to delay like this. Why don't you say it first? I don't want to say anything either. It can be seen that Niu Daijin is not uninterested in you, he still looks at you with admiration. I strongly recommend Xianqi's Vital Color and Medical Fragrance. As the saying goes, the melon that is twisted is not sweet. Someone, who said that? I twisted, it was sweet. A certain melon. The sweetness of the 70s. Author, Chi Sing Cao. Chapter 199. Chapter 199 Beat you to death, you gangster. 1240 plus. Hearing He Tianation's words, I was quite moved. Isn't this good? Chi Xiaoyan was worried, but if she was asked to confess, she didn't have the courage. He Tian put up her cigarette holder and said with a smile, Xiaoyaner, do you know that there is a saying, a man chases a woman, there is a mountain between them, a woman chases a man, there is a veil between them. You two have a good impression of each other, as long as you pierce that window paper, you can make it happen. Even if it doesn't happen, you can give up. Chi Xiaoyan nodded and said, yes, we can't drag it out like this. You don't know that these few times Daijin brother came to the village, Qi Zhenzhen pretended to meet him by chance every time. Once, she actually took advantage of Niu Daijin's way to the hut. Met. Not only Chi Xiaoyan in the village saw Niu Daijin's good qualities, but other young girls also took a fancy to him. It's just that most people just look and don't act. But Qi Zhenzhen is not an ordinary woman. She is very courageous and she only wants to go to the city. To recruit workers, you still need quotas, but to get married, all you need is a good match. Easy and fast. He Tian was dumbfounded after hearing this. Isn't Qi Zhenzhen too impatient? Yeah, shameless Qi Xiaoyan said, if I hadn't pushed Qi Zhenzhen away, that woman might have pounced on her. No wonder you're anxious, He Tian smiled, if you decide on the status of Niu Daijin as early as possible, you can also scare those people away. Qi Xiaoyan said solemnly, you are right. Next time brother Daijin comes over, I will confess my feelings. If he doesn't accept me, I won't ignore him and won't stop his marriage. The two chatted a lot. Seeing that it was already 9:30, He Tian yawned a few times and said, I'm sleepy, go to sleep, and we'll talk later. Then go to sleep, Qi Xiaoyan said. Qi Xiaoyan, who had already figured out what to do, quickly fell asleep. Listening to Qi Xiaoyan's steady breathing, He Tian opened her eyes and did not sleep. This evening is destined to be uneventful. He Tian waits. I don't know how much time passed, but He Tianation's eyes were sore and she was about to fall asleep. In a daze, He Tian heard some noises. Here we come, the Snake King was holding his breath in his heart. He Tian was covered by it, but there were still some small and humble humans who tried to test it again and again. Since Qi Jiangguo has used such despicable methods this time, he must not be allowed to escape safely. He Tian suddenly opened his eyes, and the muscles all over his body tensed. She couldn't move until someone came. Is it Qi Jiangguo? He Tian asked with her spiritual consciousness, hoping that her guess was correct. Humph, Snake King said scornfully, not only Qi Jiangguo, but also Qi Fangfang. This pair of siblings are really despicable. One overlord has a bow, and there is a guard. He Tian smiled bitterly and said, what a good pair of brothers and sisters. Qi Fangfang can do anything for her brother. Qi Jiangguo climbed up the wall carefully. Although his legs and feet were a little weak, he was still quite smart. Qi Jiangguo tiptoed to see if Grandma Qi San was sleeping. Seeing that there was no movement in Grandma Qi San's house, she came to the window of He Tianation's room. The room was also quiet. He Tian was pulled into the barrier by the Snake King. The long breathing in the room was Qi Xiaoyan's. Qi Jiangguo heard this and thought it was He Tian. The door was bolted, but He Tian's window was not bolted, but left a crack. Qi Jiangguo was so happy that he thought he was going to pry open the window. After opening the window, Qi Jiangguo crept in and quickly reached the bedside. There was a unique feminine fragrance in the room, which made Qi Jiangguo even more excited. Seeing that the little woman on the bed was fast asleep, he turned over and pressed on top of the little woman. Qi Xiaoyan was sleeping soundly when someone suddenly pressed on her. She was startled. She vaguely felt that the person pressing on her was not the soft and fragrant He Tian, but a person with a big frame and long hands and feet. Long man. Ah, Qi Xiaoyan screamed, "Help, help." Qi Jiangguo was startled. Didn't he say he was unconscious? Why are you shouting? And, this voice is not He Tian, but Qi Xiaoyan. What's wrong? He Tian stood up, picked up the big wooden stick that had been prepared, and smashed it in the direction of Qi Jiangguo, regardless of whether it was the head or the back. Ah, this time it was Qi Jiangguo's scream. Qi Xiaoyan is not the weak woman she used to be. Since her health has improved, her strength has become stronger and she can kick the man off her body. He Tian jumped out of bed with a big stick, beating and cursing, "I'll beat you to death, you gangster, I'll beat you to death, you gangster." Qi Jiangguo was stunned by He Tian's heavy sticks. He was beaten so hard that he ran away with his head in his arms. He wanted to resist, but suddenly, for some reason, he couldn't use any strength, so he could only let He Tian beat him non-stop. Qi Jiangguo could only keep screaming. In fact, he didn't want to scream, but after the big stick fell on him, the pain was as if his muscles and bones were being torn apart, and he couldn't bear it anymore. Qi Xiaoyan's cry for help, Qi Jiangguo's scream, and He Tian's beating soon woke up the neighbors. Grandma Qi-san had already put on her clothes and shouted in the yard, "Help, there are gangsters, there are gangsters." Grandma Qi-san is not tall, but her voice is very loud, especially in the quiet night, it can be heard farther. "Catch the gangsters, catch the gangsters." Other people heard the voice and ran over one after another, some of whom didn't even have time to put on their cotton-padded jackets. Qi Dazu, Qi Ergu, Qi Xiaoyan's eldest brother, Qi Rongman, and Liang Hongyu ran over. Liang Hongyu was anxious. The cry for help was from Grandma Qi-san. Her daughter was still there. As more and more people gathered around Grandma Qi-san's house, Qi Fangfang was so scared that her legs went weak and she didn't dare to go in. She could only run home and ask for help. Grandma Qi-san has opened the door to let everyone in. Qi Jiangguo's screams could be heard in the room. Someone lit a torch, and everyone looked at each other. This man's voice is very familiar. My mother, this is Qi Jiangguo. Liang Hongyu quickly pushed the door open. Behind her, Qi Ergu was holding a torch, and she saw Qi Xiaoyan holding the quilt and wiping her tears. As for He Tian, he was chasing Qi Jiangguo with a big stick and beating him constantly. No matter how Qi Jiangguo hides, the big stick in He Tian's hand can hit Qi Jiangguo. He Tian got angrier and angrier, saying, "Let you act like a gangster, let you act like a gangster." When Qi Jiangguo saw the door opened, he hurried to the door. When Liang Hongyu saw her daughter's tearful appearance, she was so angry that she slapped her down with enough force that blood flowed from the corner of Qi Jiangguo's mouth. "You bastard, you don't learn well," Liang Hongyu pointed at Qi Jiangguo's nose and scolded, "Rongman, Ergu, tied up Qi Jiangguo. Please subscribe for genuine subscription. Please give me a reward, asterisk carrot. Carrot asterisk, hee hee. The Sweetness of the 70s. Author, Qi Xing Cao. Chapter 200. Everyone tied up Qi Jiangguo. When He Tian saw someone coming, she couldn't continue to beat Qi Jiangguo. Anyway, she had already beaten Qi Jiangguo for more than 10 or 20 times just now. She was so strong that Qi Jiangguo would have to shed his skin even if he didn't die. The reason why Liang Hongyu did this was to protect He Tian. After all, He Tian had been very harsh before. If He Tian was allowed to continue beating her to death and maiming, He Tian would probably be guilty. Although there is no big stick, Qi Jiangguo also realizes that the matter has been exposed. What should he do next? Liang Hongyu hurriedly came over, sat on the bedside and asked, "Xiao Yan sweet girl, what happened?" Qi Xiao Yan was so frightened that she kept crying and twitching. He Tian wiped the sweat from her forehead and said, "Aunt Liang, Xiao Yan and I were sleepy after chatting. I heard Xiao Yan calling for help, so I hit the black figure with a stick. Unexpectedly, it turned out to be Qi Jiangguo is a piece of shit. Mom." Qi Xiao Yan choked. Although she didn't suffer any loss, she was still scared for 10 minutes. "Don't be afraid, Xiao Yan, we haven't suffered a loss, I've already beaten that gangster." Seeing Qi Xiao Yan crying so miserably, He Tian felt guilty and kept comforting her. Liang Hongyu felt relieved after hearing He Tian's words. Her daughter was just frightened and did not suffer any loss. The man outside the house also felt relieved. Zhao Dejiao and several women came in and comforted and cursed Qi Jiangguo. "Aunt Liang, Director Zhao, Qi Jiangguo is a hooligan first, so we can't let him go." He Tian said, "Tomorrow I will go to the county seat to report Qi Jiangguo with his real name. I also ask all the ladies to uphold justice for us. That's natural. Qi Jiangguo has gone too far." Zhao Dejiao cursed, and the other women also followed suit. In Qijia village, the folk customs are relatively simple. Although there are some cowards, there are really no serious crimes, murders, or rapes. Qi Jiangguo came over secretly in the middle of the night just to rape He Tian. It happened that Qi Xiao Yan was also there, and He Tian was a powerful person. Qi Jiangguo was stealing the chicken but losing the rice, and he might be locked up in the police station. At this time, Qi Shulai came with Qi Jiangguo's parents. When Qi Shulai saw Qi Jiangguo with a bruised nose and swollen face, he felt heartbroken and said, "Who is this? Are you so cruel?" Qi Dazu sneered and said, "My daughter and sweet girl will be troubled by this gangster. Playing a gangster is a serious crime. We will take them to the police station tomorrow." Secretary Qi was angry. His daughter almost suffered a loss. The old and new grudges should be settled together this time. Qi Shulai was stunned and knew that when a grown man got into a little girl's house at night, it was definitely not for chatting. With so many people present, Qi Shulai couldn't quibble even if he tried to quibble. He said with a grimace, "Brother Dazu, there is only one male in Jiangguo in our group. He is beaten like this now. He has been taught a lesson. For the sake of the village, for the sake of my fellow countrymen, please spare us Jiangguo." Qi Dazu didn't answer and looked away. "Qi Shulai, you also have today." He Tian had already put on her clothes, came out of the room, and said coldly, "No, I don't agree. I will report Qi Jiangguo tomorrow." When He Tian finished speaking, Qi Xiao Yan also said, "I am also going to report Qi Jiangguo. Such a scumbag should be punished. If I hadn't been here today, Sister Tian would have been in trouble this time. Not enough. I didn't see it. Qi Jiangguo usually smiles, but I didn't expect him to be such a dirty person." Some people in the village were talking and couldn't believe what happened today. The villagers were talking a lot. Qi's mother squinted her eyes and saw He Tian. Qi Xiao Yan said this, knowing that these two little vixens were not economical lamps and were ready to mess around and fish in troubled waters. "You are a coquettish vixen, and you usually twist your butt like chaff to seduce people. Ever since my son saw you, he has been fascinated by you and has fallen in love with you." He pointed at He Tian's nose and cursed, you said you what kind of ecstasy was given to my son to make him do such a thing. Chi Xiao Yan is from this village. If Chi's mother came forward to scold Chi Xiao Yan, Chi Dazu might not be able to hit her, but Liang Hongyu would never let her go, so Chi's mother did not dare to scold Chi Xiao Yan and started scolding He Tian Tian. This ex-mother-in-law is very scheming. Pick a soft persimmon. He Tian Tian is a foreigner and has no parents. With her elders around her, she feels that Tian Tian is easy to bully. After hearing this, Liang Hongyu frowned and said, "Don't be so naughty. Your son has evil intentions and blames others for being good-looking. There are so many young men in the village, why haven't they done such a despicable thing, but it's just your son, I can't control what's in my crotch, so I go to this little girl's boudoir in the middle of the night." Zhao Dejiao also stepped forward and said, "What my cousin said is that everyone saw it and didn't repent. Instead, they beat him up. You are so unreasonable. No wonder you raised such a son who is worse than a beast." When Chi's mother heard this, she jumped in anger and cursed, "This is a matter between our family and He Tian Tian, and has nothing to do with you." Liang Hongyu wanted to say more, but Grandma Chi San grabbed Liang Hongyu, stepped forward and said in a deep voice, "I have recognized He Tian Tian as my granddaughter. Although she is not included in our family tree, I also invited several elders in the village to have dinner. Yes, everyone knows about this. Since you said it has nothing to do with other people, it has to do with me, a lonely old woman. Anyone who is not a fool knows that what your son did is illegal, and it is also illegal for you to be so reckless. When we get to the commune tomorrow, those Qingtian masters will decide for themselves." Qi Jiangguo was in so much pain that he couldn't speak. He wanted to defend himself, but when he opened his mouth, he was trembling in pain and couldn't speak. Seeing his son like this, Qi's father quickly said, son, what's wrong with you?" Qi Jiangguo was seriously injured, with bruises all over his body. Qi's mother was also very worried and shouted at the top of her lungs, "If anything happens to my son, I will kill you." He Tian Tian sneered and said, "Today I just beat your son to death. It was self-defense. If you want to fight me, then you have to see. Do you dare to beat me to death? Can you beat me to death?" Jiangguo. Qi Jiangguo was as angry as a gossamer, as if he was about to die. If Qi Jiangguo died, it would be a human life. Although Qi Jiangguo did such despicable things before, it hasn't happened yet. If you were beaten to death because of this, the punishment would be a bit severe. Qi Fangfang helped MRSG over. MRSG sat down on the ground, patted her thighs, and cried, "My dear grandson, your life is so miserable, it's all those unscrupulous vixens who seduce you." He Tian Tian, Chi Xiao Yan trembled with anger after hearing this. When village chief Chi saw the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law acting recklessly, they couldn't stay here all the time in the cold weather. "I communicated with the editor today. From now on, it will be updated 3 times a day, steadily. In the future, 6 to 8 chapters will be updated when the editor recommends it to the client's selection page. If you owe more, you will definitely pay it back. As for when it will be paid off, try to update it as much as possible. It's not that I don't want to update, it's that I'm afraid that if I write too fast, it will collapse later. In order to make the storyline more reasonable and relaxed, let's do this first. Thank you readers for your support. With your support, I can insist on getting up at 5 o'clock every day and coding until 10 o'clock in the evening. Oh, mathematical intersection symbol. Mathematical intersection symbol, thank you. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Sweetness of the 70s. Author, Chi Sing Cao. Chapter 201. In the countryside, Shrews like MRSG and Mother Chi are the most difficult to deal with. Secretary Chi cannot be beaten or scolded. Seeing this, Chi Shulai quickly said, "Village Chief Chi, we will discuss other matters later. Send the child to the hospital first. If it is any later, the child will die." Secretary Chi looked at He Tian Tian and said, "Tian Tian girl, what do you think we should do?" He Tian Tian squinted her eyes, sneered in her heart, and said, "Get this bitch out of here quickly, scum, pervert. I'm not afraid of Chi Jiangguo running away. I will report the case tomorrow. Even if he runs to the end of the world, I will file a complaint." Although Chi Shulai did not dare to show dissatisfaction on his face, he had the idea of killing He Tian Tian in his heart. However, he also knew that although this was Kijia village, people could not kill people in public. "Whatever you want to do, we can't stop him. Let's send him to the hospital first," Chi Shulai said coldly. "Hurry and carry Jiangguo to the county hospital." People who had a good relationship with Chi Shulai stepped forward to help. That sentence is correct. Qin Hui still has a few loyal helpers. Although Chi Shulai is not a good person, he still has helpers. Chi Jiangguo groaned in pain and was carried out. Seeing that things were over, other villagers also left one after another. Chi Xiaoyan was worried about He Tian Tian and insisted on staying with He Tian Tian. Sister Wu and Ye Xiaofan also stayed with He Tian Tian. Lin Xiru heard that He Tian Tian was almost raped by Chi Jiangguo, and laughed happily in the room, very happy. Huang Jingli has some friendship with He Tian Tian, and is a little worried about He Tian Tian. Early the next morning, He Tian Tian, Chi Xiaoyan, Wu Lei, Zhang Qingshan and others went to Secretary Chi's house to discuss what to do. Village Chief Chi was a little hesitant at first, but after seeing his daughter's determined eyes, he couldn't say anything anymore. Although Chi Jiangguo's target was not his daughter, her daughter was indeed frightened. "Please don't finish this matter. If he does nothing and can't even protect his daughter, then what prestige will he have in the village in the future?" Furthermore, Chi Shulai and Chi Jiangguo's small group of people went too far. Taking advantage of this opportunity, we must teach them a lesson and give them a long memory. Secretary Chi asked Chi Ergu to hitch a bullock cart and go to the county town together. Chi Shulai asked someone to take Chi Jiangguo to the hospital overnight. He did not follow him, but went to several elders in the village, hoping that they could let Chi Jiangguo go for once for the sake of Chi's family. "Shuli, we also went to see what happened yesterday. We didn't say anything at the time. You are a smart man and you naturally noticed it." A senior elder in the village took a puff of dry cigarette and said slowly, "This matter is difficult. They cannot interfere." Chi Shulai rubbed his hands and said with a grimace, "Uncle, you have to come forward and help us. There is only one man in our team, Jiangguo. If something happens to him, our team will be finished. That boy Jiangguo was also killed. Then He Tian Tian got carried away and did stupid things. He is not that kind of scumbag. Jiangguo is about to become a senior repairman. He is a good young man who is obvious to all in our Daowen County. He can't do it. It's just gone. After a while, the village will select and recommend college students. In order to compensate Kijia village for its contribution, the commune directly gave this quota to Kijia village. Chi Jiangguo graduated from high school and was a good student in the village. This spot was definitely for Chi Jiangguo. But it's better now. Something like this happened to Chi Jiangguo. If he was punished in the village, he would suffer a little pain at most, but it would not leave a stain on his file. But if He Tian Tian and Chi Xiaoyan were allowed to file a complaint, and Chi Jiangguo was caught in the girl's house, even if it doesn't happen, Chi Jiangguo will still be charged with attempted rape. Not only will his file be stained, but he will also probably be sentenced to jail. By then, let alone going to college, it will be difficult to keep a job as a senior agricultural machinery maintenance worker. Chi Shulai had no son, so he spared no effort to help Chi Jiangguo, hoping that Chi Jiangguo would be successful in the future and shine on his family. Hey, the old man sighed, Shu Li, let me tell you the truth. The fault of this matter lies with Xiao Yan. Jiangguo is a child of our Qijia village, but so is Xiao Yan. If there is only one person in that house, He Tian Tian, that young man from the city, I'll go talk to Dazu and ask him to spare Qi Jiangguo for the sake of his fellow clan. But there is Xiao Yan and Dazu's couple in the house. Everyone in the village knows that if Dazu can swallow this, he will not be Qi Dazu. The old man knew that there were conflicts between Qi Dazu and Qi Shulai, but those were matters in the village, and nothing like this happened, so even if everyone disagreed, they still had some good feelings. But if something happens to her other people's children, then the bottom line will be hit, let alone someone like Qi Dazu who protects the calf. Furthermore, if Qi Dazu cannot protect his children, how can he be a good village party secretary? What should we do about Jiangguo? Just watch a good young man be ruined. Qi Shulai felt uncomfortable. Hey, why is this kid Jiangguo so hard to think about? Why should a man be without a wife? As for getting on the pole, use something strong. The palms and backs of my hands are all flesh. You and I, as well as Dazu, are all the same distance. I can't do anything unfair, the old man refused. Instead of begging me here, why not beg He Tian Tian, Qi Xiao Yan, tell them not to sue. It's Jiangguo's fault to take care of your mother and your sister-in-law. They are still pointing out the girl and scolding them. If they don't sue, who will you sue? The old man was also upset, and so was the whole family. They were wrong and refused to forgive others. If you have a good attitude at the beginning, beg for it. He Tian Tian is a young educated youth, and Qi Xiao Yan is from the same family, so things can always turn around. But Qi Jiangguo's grandmother and mother were so self-righteous that they thought the problem could be solved by acting arrogantly, so they refused to apologize to others. No one else would agree. Qi Shulai saw that the clan elder was unwilling to speak for him, so he had no choice but to go to the next house. They all gave the same reply. They were unwilling to stand up for Qi Jiangguo and offend Qi Dazu and Qi Xiao Yan. Qi Shulai was sleepy, tired, and anxious. When he got home, he rummaged through the boxes and cabinets, found some things from home, and went to apologize to He Tian Tian. But Grandma Qi San had already closed the door, preventing Qi Shulai from coming in. Even if Qi Shulai could climb over the wall, his nephew had already been beaten for climbing over the wall just now, and he had become a gangster. If he climbed over the wall again, he would probably be slandered as a gangster. Qi Shulai saw that He Tian Tian was not getting enough, so he went to see Secretary Qi again. Liang Hongyu directly said that she had gone to bed and would talk about anything tomorrow, and ignored Qi Shulai. The Sweetness of the 70s. Author, Qi Xing Cao. Chapter 202. Chapter 202, Ginger is old and spicy, 1260 plus. 200. After He Tian Tian learned about Qi Shulai's actions, he couldn't help but sigh again. Zhang is very spicy. If she hadn't listened to Grandma Qi San and asked Qi Xiao Yan to come over and be with her, she would have suffered the loss of being dumb now. When the time comes, if she doesn't listen to Secretary Qi's advice, she must file a complaint. Even if Secretary Qi doesn't stop her, he and the people in Qijia village will have a problem with her, thinking that her insistence on going her own way has brought shame to Qijia village. As the village party secretary of Qijia village, Secretary Qi has no reputation. He Tian Tian felt guilty for plotting against Qi Xiao Yan this time, but she did not regret it. She could compensate Qi Xiao Yan in the future. However, if nothing is done this time, after Tong Qi Jiangguo breaks up, a series of unstable things will happen to He Tian Tian. Grandma Qi San is right. Since everything has been done, there is no need to leave any room. Early the next morning, Grandma Qi San got up as usual, with a peaceful face. She has done what she should do, and He Tian Tian can only rely on herself for the rest. He Tian Tian made breakfast, ate it with Chi Xiao Yan and several educated youths, and then went to find village chief Chi and went to the work unit to file a complaint. He Tian Tian had pen and paper of her own, and she had already written a piece of paper last night. Chi Xiao Yan also wrote a note, saying that she and He Tian Tian would advance and retreat together, and they must put that scumbag Chi Jiangguo in jail. Secretary Chi asked Chi Ergu to prepare the ox cart and go to the county unit together. Liang Hongyu and Zhao Dejiao also followed. It was already noon when we arrived at the county seat. We had dinner together and went directly to the police station. The spring festival has just passed, and the police station is very quiet. After seeing He Tian Tian and Chi Xiao Yan's lawsuit, they immediately filed a case and began to send people to investigate. They took statements from He Tian Tian, Chi Xiao Yan, the villagers who had come over, and the young people in the city. After these things were done, it was already dark. There are so many people who came out today without certificates and cannot stay in the guest house. They can only go to Niu Daijin and Niu Lily for help to find a place to stay. When Niu Lily heard about what happened to He Tian Tian and Chi Xiao Yan, she was filled with indignation and immediately promised to find a relationship for them. Niu Lily's biggest backer is Niu Peng. Niu Lily wanted to ask He Tian Tian about Chi Rongjun several times, but thinking that He Tian Tian was almost killed, it was not the time to talk about her children's love. Anyway, we have a long way to go, so I'll ask again later. Niu Daijin had already helped everyone find a place to rest, and He Tian Tian was the last to leave. Sister Lily, you have to help me, He Tian Tian choked with sobs. From last night to now, she has not cried, but in order to win Niu Lily's sympathy and get Niu Peng's help, she risked her life. He Tian Tian was not pretending to cry, she was really sad. Tian Tian, since you call me sister, I have to help you, Niu Lily said. Last time, Chi Jiangguo reported you, but it didn't work, and he still didn't give up. This time, she will be scared if we don't beat her, and it will be more troublesome in the future. Yeah, last time we had no evidence, and we couldn't do anything to him. If he had changed his mind, I wouldn't care about him. But he often wandered in front of me and said disgusting things. I don't agree with him. He used such despicable methods to pursue me, He Tian Tian cried, such a person is so hateful. What you are saying is that such people are the most disgusting, Niu Lily said. Stop crying, evildoers will definitely be punished. He Tian Tian wiped her tears, nodded and said, I believe there is justice in the world. Chi Jiangguo was caught and exposed. With so many people seeing and testifying, Chi Jiangguo cannot escape the charge of attempted rape. He will have to be sentenced to at least 3 years, Niu Lily comforted her. Remember, if people don't agree, use force. Niu Lily left He Tian Tian and Chi Xiao Yan to live in the hotel dormitory. At night, the three of them accused Chi Jiangguo of his crimes with the same hatred. The next day, village chief Chi took people home. As for Chi Jiangguo, people from the police station went to the hospital to record a statement, but they were unable to do so and were still in a coma. However, they were careful and took Chi Jiangguo's clothes that he had changed from yesterday directly from the hospital and sealed them off. No confession could be taken, so people from the police station had to go to Kijia village to investigate first. However, for the sake of fairness, they could not go with Secretary Chi, but went to Kijia village later than Secretary Chi. It only took people from these police stations 1 day to find useful materials. At the same time, I also went to Grandma Chi San's house for on-site reconnaissance. Even though a lot of people came last night, everyone came in through the gate, not climbing on the wall, so they could still find traces of climbing on the wall. There was also a piece of cloth on it. The police collected it with gloves and other valid evidence. This cloth is from the clothes Chi Jiangguo changed into. The situation has become clear. Chi Jiangguo was an attempted rape. After they completed their investigation, they left. He Tiantian and Chi Xiaoyan were frightened, and Secretary Chi asked them to rest at home. Several educated youths went back one after another, and they were quite tired. After everyone left, Grandma Chi-san came in with a bowl of brown sugar eggs and said, "Sweet girl, eat something quickly to replenish your body." He Tiantian sat up from the bed and said gratefully, "Grandma, you eat too, you can't give me all the good things." "There's another one in the pot," Grandma Chi-san smiled, "eat quickly and be in good health to cope with the following situation. Chi Jiangguo will probably go to jail, but Chi Jiangguo's family won't, and they probably won't let it go in the future. Yours. But don't worry, there are still laws in this world. As long as you are careful and don't fall alone, you should be fine." He Tiantian brought it over and ate it. She knew that Grandma Chi-san loved her and herself. If she said it was in the pot, then it must be there. When Grandma Chi-san saw He Tiantian eating, she also went to the pot to eat it. After He Tiantian lay down, she felt a little scared, but also inexplicably excited. "Gilo gilo me." He Tiantian summoned the Snake King. "Snake King, thank you very much this time." The Snake King has not practiced in the past few days and has been paying attention to the situation outside. He Tianatian's resolute reaction was unexpected, and at the same time he had a deep understanding of Grandma Chi-san, the promoter of this incident. Getting older and getting stronger. This is the kind of person you are talking about? "No need to thank me, I don't like that bastard either," the Snake King said. "He Tiantian must remain a virgin so that the holy blood on her body can be clean. If he is contaminated by a slanderous person like Chi Jiangguo, the Snake King will not simply punish him like this. There is only one outcome waiting for Chi Jiangguo, and that is death. Die. Die. I hope Chi Jiangguo can be sent to the prison cell this time," He Tiantian said. She also knew that Chi Shulai had been busy taking care of himself during this time and did not want Chi Jiangguo to be sent to prison. But as long as He Tiantian leaves and Chi Xiaoyan doesn't let go, Chi Jiangguo's charges will not be dismissed. Chapter 200 has been reached a month after it was released, so spread the flowers. Tomorrow is the day when Xian's novel Hello, Pretender will be released on the shelves. Readers who like modern romance can go and support it.